Who are you? Who are you beyond your name, your job, your story? You see, this is a question that we often overlook. Some of us never ask it, or if we do ask it, it's not enough. It's only a passing, fleeting question that isn't given much importance. But who are you is perhaps the most important question you can ever ask yourself. Not, what am I going to do with my life? Not, where do I want to be? Who do I want to marry? Where do I want to live? What kind of job I want to have? How am I going to make more money? These are all superficial questions. They don't really get to the core of what makes you truly happy. And so you see, this question has been helping me on my journey for the past 15 years now. It started out in moments, right? It wasn't always as pronounced or as vividly felt as it is right now. But I remember during my childhood, sometimes I would question this identity that I created, this identity that goes beyond a name, beyond a race, beyond a nationality, a religion, or an ethnicity. I started questioning these things. And then those questions started to get more pronounced. In high school, I had almost a life-ending car accident that made me really question the meaning of life, and more specifically, the meaning of my life. It made me question the path that I was traveling on, the types of people that I associated with, the decisions I made or didn't make, and ultimately began what I now like to call my spiritual journey, my spiritual awakening journey. And along the way, there were ebbs and flows, right? I don't want to pretend that I was Buddha and sitting in a Bodhi tree for 15, 20 years, working on myself, because there were times when I obviously did feel a little bit disconnected, or I did feel like maybe I was going backwards. I experienced many a dark night of the soul, where I really questioned things and questioned whether I was really getting to the core of who I was, whether I was really feeling a connection with God, or if this was just a temporary surface level thing that would one day fizzle out. And so along the way, I discovered so many different teachings, so many different teachers, and in different forms too, right? There's the common New Age books that we're all familiar with many of the same authors that are still around today, like Eckhart Tolle, who has continued to be a major influence in my life. But there's also been countless other teachers, right? Many of which we all know, such as great spiritual leaders, Paramahansa Yogananda, Nisargadatta Maharaj, great spiritual masters like Rumi and Attar and Hafiz. It could also be religious leaders who had a very spiritual perspective on life, like Christ and Muhammad. Or, profound life teachers like Buddha, who to this day continues to, show the influence that he has made, show the influence that he has instilled in our hearts. And so I've borrowed from all these different teachings, both the new and the old, universal, time-tested, and I've tried to apply that into my own life. And I've seen such a radical and profound change. I used to be someone that was always anxious, always restless, impatient, driven by material success, driven by material forms of happiness. And now I find myself a lot calmer, a lot more patient, a lot more peaceful, a lot more forgiving. And I feel more connected with God than I've ever felt in my life before. And I feel as if my life has a certain purpose. And that's really why I wanted to create this video, why I created this channel. You see, over the past 4 years, I've dedicated so much of my time, my energy, my resources to create this channel. To create a channel where I can share some of the things that I've learned on my journey, some of the things that I've picked up, and some of the ways and solutions that I've discovered that can hopefully help others who are on a similar path. Perhaps not make the same mistakes that I did, or perhaps not take as much time as I did to get to the same destination. It's been an incredible journey. Certainly for those of you who have been following it for a while, you've seen the evolution, right? What started out as a very simple, kind of just reviewing spiritual poems and dissecting their meanings, to growing and expanding to guided meditations, spiritual teachings, and sort of this weekly stream of content that is evergreen, that applies to our lives, and can serve as a fountain of wisdom, a fountain of knowledge for anyone who is yearning to awaken their soul. Now you might be wondering, well, what's so special about this channel that I can't find in other channels? And that's a great question, right? There's so many great channels out there, not just on YouTube, but in other formats as well. And I certainly won't be the one to tell you that you should ignore or unsubscribe or just, tune out those teachings, because there's a lot of great teachers out there. But I think what makes me a little bit different is how I make these videos. They're both practical and relevant, but they're also grounded in centuries of ancient teachings. In other words, trying to bring the ancient into the modern world. I also feel like my own experience as someone who is navigating both the material and the practical life, but also immersing into spirituality, is such a great parallel for a lot of us on this journey. You see, not all of us can let go of our responsibilities. Not all of us can dedicate 14, 15 hours a day to spiritual practice. Like me, many of you probably have full-time jobs. You probably have full-time responsibilities. You probably have a family to take care of and tend to. And the list goes on and on. So how do we make spirituality accessible? How do we make spirituality more than just kind of the woo-woo, feel-good stuff that you might hear that addresses a temporary problem, to something that can sustain you for life? Something that can give you a purpose, a direction, a sense of comfort. This is what this channel is all about. And I strive to make every video practical and relatable. Every video easily digestible, so that you can incorporate it into your busy life. And that's something that I continue to do each and every week. Just recently, I started launching my spiritual counseling services, which, for those of you who are not familiar with it, it's really an opportunity for us to have a conversation. But it's not like any conversation, right? Majority of what we say in our day-to-day conversations doesn't really apply to us, doesn't really help us on a deeper level. It may accomplish a task, it may get a specific job done, but at the end of the day, are we truly more peaceful? Are we truly more aligned with our true selves? The answer is no. So what is this conversation that we tackle? Well, for one, we go back to that question. Who are you? You see, this is not a question that you can just explore and plumb into the depths of it by simply watching this video. It requires a lot of introspection. And more importantly, it requires the right environment, the right questions, the right probing techniques, things that I've learned through myself, but also things that I've picked up along the way, whether that's workshops I've attended, whether that's the live coaching sessions that I've picked up, and the skills that I've picked up over the years. These are things that have really helped me create a safe and welcoming and open environment where you feel like you can just share who you are, where you can explore these ideas and feelings without any sort of judgment, any sort of critical feedback. I'm not your therapist. I'm not here to solve your problems, but I'm here to show you that you are yourself the solution to whatever you feel is your problems. You see, sometimes all we need is just a sounding board, a reflection, someone to kind of hold our hand and walk beside us, but not do the walking for us. And that's what my spiritual counseling is all about. It's asking these deep questions. It's doing meditative techniques. It's really taking the time to unravel and peel back the layers of this onion. because that's the only way we will see true spiritual transformation. Otherwise, we're just entertaining it, right? We're just swimming in the surface, but we're not actually plumbing into the depths of our being. So if this sounds interesting to you and you want to learn more, then I definitely encourage you to check out my website, www.najimmostamand.com, and click on the Spiritual Counseling tab. There you'll find more information about the counseling services that I offer, but more importantly, you'll have access to a 30-minute consultation. You can simply click on the link, find a date and time that works for you, and go ahead and get that scheduled. No obligation. There's no charge to it. There's no commitment. You don't need to book services with me if you end up deciding that this isn't the right fit for you or this isn't the right time for you. It's simply a way for us to meet, connect, get to know one another, and more importantly, get to know what you want to do. What is it that you've been doing that you want to take a step further? Because chances are, if you're watching this video, you are interested in growing spiritually, right? You are interested in achieving a deeper level of peace. You are interested in addressing your anxiety. You are interested in connecting with God. You are interested in finding your purpose in life. Whatever the root cause, whatever the root issue is, chances are you can find the solution through counseling. So I hope and I encourage you to please check out the website. Please reach out for a 30-minute consultation if you're interested. And please check out some of the other videos on this channel as well. I definitely encourage you to subscribe. Again, this is a no obligation way to develop and enrich your spiritual understanding. I'll be producing new videos every week, trying to mix the interplay of both long form and short form content so that you have kind of a predictable longer video that goes deeper into the topics. But then you'll also have these short, digestible reels and content that make it easy for you to incorporate into your daily life. But whatever the case may be, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I was able to shed some more light into my own background and journey and how it has led me to revitalize this channel, to offer spiritual counseling services, and to hopefully be of service to you. Don't forget to stick around for next week's video. I'll be talking about the real root causes of anxiety and why it goes deeper than you think. But until next time, I wish you a wonderful day, and I would love to be of service to you. Thank you.